What happens when an ancient god awakens, and even the strongest are forced to tremble? From a sea of burning magma, something long sealed begins to stir. A presence older than history itself rises, and the moment it opens its eyes, the fate of everyone changes forever. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. Giant waves suddenly surged across the vast sea of magma. At the center of the crimson expanse, a whirlpool spanning 10,000 feet slowly took shape, its rotation heavy and oppressive. At the deepest end of the vortex, something seemed to be emerging. A mysterious and ancient fluctuation rippled outward, sweeping across the entire region like an invisible tide. This sudden anomaly immediately drew countless gazes. Shock spread rapidly across every face as the crowd stared at the churning magma below. Xiaoyan's eyes turned solemn as he fixed his gaze on the boiling vortex. A deep sense of caution welled up within him. He had not forgotten that a mysterious existence guarded the ancient god mansion. If that being were to emerge, no one could predict how drastically the situation would change. Just as Xiaoyan focused all his attention on the magma sea space, suddenly distorted a short distance behind him. A miserable elderly figure staggered into view. The dense, deathly aura that once shrouded his body had nearly dissipated, clear proof that he had suffered severe injuries. "He's still alive." Xiaoyan turned sharply, surprise flashing through his eyes as he recognized the weary old man. However, that surprise quickly transformed into a cold smile when his gaze shifted to the figure clutched in Hun Shengtian's hand. That unfortunate soul was none other than Hun Yuantian. Xiaoyan had detonated over a dozen extermination fire lotuses, obliterating the deathly silence gate. The compounded destructive force was so terrifying that even witnessing it sent chills through one's soul. Despite being 8-star elite Doushengs, Hun Yuantian's group still suffered catastrophic losses, one dead, the other gravely wounded. Hun Shengtian spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, terror evident on his face as he stared at Xiaoyan in the distance. Though a trace of viciousness still flickered in his eyes, he understood all too well that he was in no condition to continue fighting. Gritting his teeth, he dragged his battered body away and retreated rapidly. Xiaoyan glanced briefly at Hun Shengtian's retreating figure, but made no move to pursue. Though he had succeeded in killing one enemy and severely injuring another, his own exhaustion was undeniable. Moreover, the Toshi ancient god mansion was on the verge of emerging. His attention could not be diverted. Even if Hun Shengtian escaped, he would no longer be a factor in the coming battle. Splash, splash. The massive magma whirlpool spun faster and faster, the roaring sound of churning lava shaking heaven and earth. Bang! A thunderous explosion echoed through the sky. Moments later, 3 battered figures were violently flung backward. 2 of them were in an utterly pitiful state. The deathly aura surrounding them had almost vanished, and their strength had plummeted. To think they had tried to block Gu Yuan with such power was laughable. Even the slightest brush from someone of his caliber could leave them gravely injured. "Lord Nihility, we can't hold him back." The 2 pale-faced figures cried out desperately to the Nihility devouring flame, whose black flames flickered chaotically beside them. Within the Nihility devouring flame's eyes, dark flames rippled faintly. A trace of dissatisfaction surfaced. Even after his soul advanced to the D state, he still could not suppress Gu Yuan. Gu Yuan appeared not far from them, his expression cold and indifferent. If not for the Nihility devouring flame's D state soul, he would have already annihilated the other 2. Otherwise, how could they still be alive? However, Gu Yuan understood well that their goal was never victory, only delay. "Hun Tiandi." Gu Yuan lifted his head eyes, locking onto the figure manipulating the Tushi ancient god Jade. A cold glint flashed through his gaze as he stepped forward. Space rippled, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared behind Hun Tiandi. The power of heaven and earth surged violently, condensing into a colossal tidal palm that slammed down mercilessly. Bang! Hun Tiandi burst into laughter as he struck out with his palm. Space shattered as he directly met Gu Yuan's attack head-on. "Gu Yuan, you're too late. Now all we need to do is wait for the ancient god mansion to appear." Hun Tiandi retreated swiftly, his grip still tightly clenched around the Toshi ancient god Jade. Gu Yuan's expression darkened. His gaze swept toward the magma sea, where the whirlpool had suddenly expanded tenfold in size. Bang, bang, bang! As the vortex expanded, Towering magma pillars erupted violently from the sea, shooting in all directions. Experts from both factions were caught within the eruption. The terrifying heat and destructive force claimed lives instantly. Hun Tiandi's eyes blazed with uncontrollable excitement as he stared at the raging magma. The jade in his hand had grown scorching hot. Splash! A magma wave towering 10,000 feet surged upward before crashing down with devastating force, splashing molten lava across the sky. The massive whirlpool gradually slowed. As the rotation weakened, a colossal structure began to rise from beneath the magma. Crimson lava cascaded down its surface as an ancient stone door slowly ascended, suspending itself in the sky before countless burning gazes. The magma on the door evaporated swiftly, replaced by an ancient desolate aura that engulfed the world. Under this overwhelming presence, all sound vanished. Even figures like Gu Yuan and Hun Tiandi felt an instinctive dread rising from the depths of their souls. This was an aura that stood above the world itself. Countless eyes converged upon the stone door, finally fixing on the three massive ancient characters engraved upon it. Ancient God Mansion. Hun Tiandi's eyes erupted with terrifying brilliance. Even with his iron will, his heart pounded uncontrollably as he stared at the object he had pursued for thousands of years. "I've finally found you," he murmured softly before throwing his head back in wild laughter, thunderous and unrestrained. "So this is the legendary ancient god cave." Gu Yuan stood momentarily stunned, gazing at the silent stone door. The aura it radiated left no doubt this was a genuine Do Di relic. Only something left behind by a true Do Di could inspire such profound fear. Recovering himself, Gu Yuan's eyes grew complicated. The 8 ancient clans had waged countless wars over this place. Yet it appeared only now after millennia had passed, and only 4 clans remained. The immense stone door loomed above the magma, rendering everyone beneath it insignificant. It felt as though it belonged to another world, ancient, mysterious, and untouchable. Huff! Xiao exhaled slowly. Though this was his second time seeing the door, the shock within him remained. The closer he stood, the heavier the pressure became. He suspected that among everyone present, only a handful could even approach it. The ancient god cave has appeared. Hun Tiandi will surely move for the embryonic dye pill. But where is that mysterious guardian? Xiao Yan's eyes flickered cautiously as he scanned the magma sea. A strange pressure enveloped the area, suppressing even his dye-state soul from probing beneath the surface. Hun Tiandi took several deep breaths, forcibly calming his surging emotions. He slowly raised the Toshi ancient god Jade. Faint light flowed across its surface. As the jade glimmered, corresponding light flickered across the tightly sealed stone door. The ancient gates, closed for 10,000 years, showed signs of opening. Delight surged across Hun Tiandi's face. Just as he stepped forward, a figure lunged toward him, attempting to seize the jade. "Her Gu Yuan can't hold back any longer." Hun Tiandi sneered as he flashed away, narrowly evading Gu Yuan. "Opening the mansion won't be that easy." Gu Yuan coldly laughed, shadowing Hun Tiandi relentlessly and denying him any chance to act. "You—" Murderous intent erupted in Hun Tiandi's eyes. With Gu Yuan pestering him non-stop, it was impossible to focus. Countless spectators clenched their fists, watching helplessly. This was a battle beyond their reach. Splash! Splash! Xiao Yan glanced skyward before his ears twitched. Intense magma turbulence echoed below. He snapped his gaze to the sea, only to find it eerily calm. His brows furrowed. He stared unblinkingly. Minutes passed. Suddenly his pupils shrank. Get away from the magma now. 100,000-foot magma wave exploded upward from the silent sea. An earth-shattering roar followed, echoing like the cry of an ancient god. Gu Yuan and Hun Tiandi's expressions changed drastically. This aura, it was no weaker than theirs. Ha ha ha. This emperor finally sees the sky again. The colossal magma column pierced the heavens as a ferocious aura burst forth, shaking the very fabric of the world. The blazing crimson magma seemed to devour the very world itself. At a single glance, it was as though hundreds of thousands of feet of molten fire had filled the heavens and earth. The terrifying heat transformed the entire realm into a colossal furnace. Both armies were forced to retreat in haste before the monstrous magma wave. Countless shocked gazes pierced through the rolling lava. At this moment, even they could clearly sense the presence of an extremely terrifying existence lurking beneath the magma sea. Gu Yuan and Hun Tiandi had also come to a halt. Their expressions were grave as their eyes cautiously fixed upon the sea of magma. Even with their strength, they could feel a faint but undeniable sense of danger emanating from that overwhelming aura. It seems Xiaoyan was right after all, Gu Yuan said solemnly, his eyes flickering. There truly is a mysterious creature guarding the ancient god mansion. Rumble. The magma waterfall that had surged skyward suddenly collapsed, crashing violently back into the sea. It transformed into a massive wave that spread outward at terrifying speed, swallowing distant mountains in an instant. As the colossal wave fell, a gigantic creature slowly emerged from the magma sea. Though only a portion of its body surfaced, it was already unimaginably vast. Its head rose from the molten depths, radiating a ferocious and oppressive aura as it gazed coldly at the countless figures suspended in the sky. Within its enormous eyes, a trace of surprise flickered. To think, someone truly obtained the Toshi ancient god Jade and summoned the ancient god mansion from that cursed place. The creature's gaze swept across the heavens before finally settling on Gu Yuan and Hun Tiandi. Though countless experts were present, only these two were worthy of its attention. Gu Yuan and Hun Tiandi both grew solemn. Despite their vast experience, they could not identify this enormous being. After all, what they were seeing was merely a fragment of its true form. I am Gu Yuan, clan head of the Gu clan. May I know who you are? Gu Yuan clasped his hands together respectfully and spoke in a deep voice. Fearing that Gu Yuan might ally with the mysterious being, Hun Tiandi also hurriedly cupped his hands and announced his identity, his tone unusually courteous. The Gu clan, the Hun clan. The creature let out a deafening laugh that shook the heavens. Back then you were nothing more than insignificant factions. To think you would one day obtain the Toshi ancient god Jade. Its laughter caused the magma sea to churn violently, countless magma pillars erupting skyward. Both Gu Yuan and Hun Tiandi were secretly shocked. From those words alone, it was clear that this being had existed since ancient times, long before their clans rose to prominence. Then, who summoned the ancient god mansion? The creature continued indifferently. Come to think of it, this emperor does owe that person a favor. Gu Yuan's expression darkened, while Hun Tiandi's eyes lit up with joy. Haha. Senior, the ancient Jade is in my possession. Naturally, only I could have summoned the ancient god mansion. Hun Tiandi stepped forward, laughing confidently. The creature glanced at Hun Tiandi. A sharp light suddenly burst from its eyes. In the next instant, its incomparably massive body rapidly shrank. Within a breath, it transformed into a purple gold-haired, middle-aged man. He lifted his head. An overwhelming pressure radiated from his gaze as he looked down at Hun Tiandi. You have indeed rendered me a favor, and I should repay it, he said calmly. However, I have more urgent matters to attend to. We shall settle this another time. Ha! Gu Yuan let out a quiet sigh of relief. Beside him, Hun Tiandi's face twitched uncontrollably. A chilling light flashed deep within his eyes. Had it not been for his fear of this man's terrifying strength, he might have already ordered an attack. The purple gold-haired man paid Hun Tiandi no further attention. His golden eyes swept across the sky before suddenly stopping on a single figure. Instantly, an icy killing intent filled his gaze. Xiaoyan stiffened. His expression changed subtly as he realized the man was staring directly at him. Could it be? He still remembered. Brat, come here. The man extended his hand. A deafening dragon's roar echoed through the heavens as a massive golden claw tore through space and slammed toward Xiaoyan. Damn it! Xiaoyan's face darkened. He retreated rapidly as a spiritual figure appeared behind him. Yellow Spring's divine anger was unleashed without hesitation. Mo! The soul-shaking sonic wave smashed into the golden claw, but the claw did not move an inch. Mister, may I ask how Xiaoyan has offended you? Gu Yuan's expression changed drastically as he hurriedly shouted, Humph, my target is him alone. Interfere and I will fight you as well. The man's voice was icy and merciless. Days ago, he had sensed the bloodline aura of his child within Xiaoyan. That bloodline belonged exclusively to his race, yet Xiaoyan was unmistakably human. There was only one explanation. Xiaoyan had devoured and refined his child's bloodline. His child might have even been killed. At that thought, the ferocity in the man's eyes intensified. Haha, Gu Yuan, it seems even the heavens stand against you. Hun Tiandi burst into laughter. Gu Yuan's face turned ashen. Regardless of the reason, Xiaoyan was a member of the alliance and his son-in-law. There was no way Gu Yuan could stand by and watch him be killed. "Stop him," Kogen roared. Lei Ying and the others gritted their teeth and charged forward. Xiaoyan was not someone they could abandon. Humph! A violent gale erupted as the mysterious man lifted his head and roared. The sound wave alone shook the world. Bang! Bang! Lei Ying was blasted backward before he could even attack, blood surging violently within him. "Brat, give me your life." The man appeared before Xiaoyan in a ghost-like flash, his hand grabbing toward Xiaoyan's head. Bang! 9-colored light suddenly erupted, enveloping Xiaoyan and retreating rapidly. "9-colored heaven swallowing python," the man exclaimed in shock. To think such a bloodline still exists. Gold Emperor incinerating heaven execution. Golden flames flooded the sky, condensing into a beam tens of thousands of feet long that crashed downward. Bang! The man threw a casual punch. The golden beam shattered instantly. An insignificant attack. He smiled faintly before vanishing and reappearing before Xiaoyan once more. "You won't escape." Purple gold light surged violently as it struck toward Xiaoyan and Xun. "Go." Space sealed shut. Xiaoyan's expression twisted as madness filled his eyes. He slammed his palm against Xun, shattering the seal around her. His body began to swell rapidly. He was about to self-destruct his physical body. "Don't!" Xun screamed, her face drained of color. "Damn brat, you're ruthless." Even the mysterious man was startled, though his attack did not stop. Just as Xiaoyan's body neared collapse, the seal on his hand suddenly flared brilliantly. "Xiaoyan, don't self-destruct." Ziyan's anxious voice rang out. Golden light surged from the dragon seal, forcibly suppressing Xiaoyan's swelling body. Space split open. A massive golden dragon burst forth, coiling around Xiaoyan. "Jigen, move away," Xiaoyan shouted. Before his words finished, a massive purple gold seal descended from above. Just as everyone expected, blood to splatter, the seal stopped. Light scattered. The mysterious man's body trembled violently. His eyes widened. "Child, that's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much."